Welcome back, children. Last time we have studied about the blood plasma. Okay, what the blood plasma is, that you have already known. Okay, so here you see the plasma that is in the test tube. I have already told you after the centrifugation. What happens here? Centrifugation means it is a machine which rotates very fast, and because of the rotation, what happens here? The solid particles settles down, and the liquid particle, the lighter particles, comes up. So solid particles inside our blood, these are the red blood cells and the white blood cells. White blood cells are still lighter in weight, say they come up of the red blood cells, and the plasma which is in liquid state. This plasma contains a lot amount of water, that is 92% of water, and the proteins and other salts which are very important for our day to day life, as well as it has albumin. Okay, albumin which helps the water to remain, the quantity of water to remain inside the body, inside the body. That means albumin stores the water, and globulin, that is the, it helps for the protection of that all the cells, as well as it takes care of the blood components. And fibrinogen and prothrombin, these are the substance which helps for blood clotting. Okay, as well as the inorganic salts. Inorganic salts helps for the muscles and the nerves. They connect the muscle and the nerve to our, to the brain. Okay, so this you have already studied and I have explained you. Now we will start the amount of the plasma membrane inside our body. Okay, so what are these plasma? That is the plasma substance. It is a liquid substance which allows the blood to flow. So that liquid substance we call it as plasma. After the wound, and when the wound, as you have got the wound, and when the wound has become dry, after that, from the dry part, if you just remove out the dry skin, those blood cells which are accumulated, or the globulin which has accumulated on the surface of your wound, if you remove out this dry substance, you will find a watery substance comes out from it, from your wound. That watery substance we call it as the plasma. Okay, so plasma contained inside the blood is 55%, and white blood cells and platelets, these are 1%, and red blood cells are 44% from our blood. Okay, so the what are these platelets? Now next component of the blood is the platelets. These platelets are very small disc like substances, and in 1 cubic millimeter, a small vessel which is 1 cubic millimeter, 1 millimeter, that is a small square box. In that, 2 or 3 drops of blood, and in that 2 or 3 drops of blood, how many platelets are formed? That is 2.5 to 4 lakh platelets. Okay, so these platelets helps in the blood clotting process. Okay, sometimes these platelets are increased in our blood, and sometimes they get decreased. Okay, if the platelets increase, then there is a condition, there is a disease condition inside our body. Okay, so this platelet helps for blood clotting. So you could see the picture of the platelet. All these three things are there. That is the red blood cell, white blood cell, the round color, white color, and these are the platelets. Okay, which have spines like structure on it. The function of the blood, whatever is this given here in your textbook, this picture is from your textbook. That is a function of the blood. It transport gases. As you know, all the functions of the blood. What function of the blood is? It transport gases. What gases we have? That is the oxygen is carried from the blood, carried via blood from the lungs to every cell, as well as from every cell of the body, every cell of our body, it takes the carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is absorbed by the blood from the cells and again brought it back to the lungs. Okay, so it transport nutrients also, nutrients like glucose, amino acids. Amino acids are required for making proteins, or either Okay, some amino acids are required for making proteins, like some proteins are enzymes and the hormones. It helps in the fatty acids to transport these fatty acids. It is taken by the blood from wall of the alimentary canal. Your alimentary canal is a tube like substance, isn't it? Your intestine is a tube like substance, and it can absorb, your blood can absorb from outside this tube. Okay, your blood is surrounded, okay, with this, your blood is surrounded here, that means your intestine is surrounded by the blood, and this can be absorbed. Your all the nutrients from the intestine can be absorbed by the blood. Okay, so it transports all these nutrients to the body. It transports waste materials, whatever waste material has produced after the synthesis of proteins or after the consumption of proteins. These waste material have to be collected and brought it back to the excretory system. So what are these waste materials? These are the ammonia, urea, creatinine. These are released by the tissue into the blood, and this blood carries it to the kidney for throwing out. These all these substances are dissolved in water, so naturally it is thrown away with the help of water. So we call this excretory product as urine. You know that, urination. Okay, so next is the protection. Your blood helps for protecting your body. It has many antibodies with it. Antibodies means the soldier cells with it, and it helps identify different types of microbes and prepare the soldier cells, okay, and harmful particles. It transports the enzymes and the hormones. What are enzymes and hormones? Enzymes are there in your digestive system, okay, enzymes are there in liver, hormones are there overall in your body. It is secreted by the action, by the order of your brain. Okay, so all these hormones and enzymes have to be circulated to our body. The next important thing is the thermoregulation. What is thermoregulation? Our body temperature have to be maintained at a constant degree, constant temperature. Our heat, body heat has to be maintained at a constant temperature. And what is the constant temperature of our body? It is 37 degree Celsius. This 37 degree Celsius, it remains constant overall the life. Even if you have any fever condition, then the temperature will increase. We say this 37 degree will increase by 38 or 39. Okay, so that action of thermoregulation, that is being done by our blood. Maintaining the blood balance of minerals like sodium and potassium in our body. It maintains the balance because sodium and potassium are required for the good action of our brain and the sense organs. If bleeding takes place anywhere in the body, or if there is an injury, and from the injury if blood is flowing out, so immediately this blood collects all these platelets and this fibrinogen. I have told you, the platelets and fibrinogen, these are the fibers. They come close, they come together wherever there is a wound or wherever there is an injury, and they form a network. Okay, platelets and the fibers, they form the network, and from that network your wound portion is sealed, and the blood which comes out, it stops. Your blood gets clotted here. Clotted means it gets blocked. Okay, we are going to study about the blood types. Okay, we all human beings are divided according to our types of blood. Okay, so what types, or either we call it as blood group. So we human beings are divided again or classified again according to our blood groups. So there are 4 blood groups in the human beings. So what these 4 blood groups are? These are blood group O, group B, group A, and group AB. Okay, so why these blood groups? There are some antigens. There are some no antibodies on our blood cells. Okay, they carry some type of antigen, some type of protein with them. That protein is been given the name and the type. Okay, so that name will be A antigen, B antigen, or both the antigens are there together, A and B, then we call it as blood group AB. If antigen A is there, you could see here in the picture, if antigen A is there, then that blood group becomes blood group A. If there are no antigens at all on your cells, red blood cells, then it becomes O. Okay, that means there are no antigens on your blood cells. So naturally, when we transfer this blood, that is blood is being given to any of the patient. If the patient is undergoing some surgery, if the person has caused severe accident, or either during the delivery condition of a woman, when a woman is giving birth to a child, there are some of the complications, operations have to be done. So for all these purpose, blood is lost from the body. Too much of blood is lost from the body. This blood has to be recovered, no, given immediately. Immediately blood cannot be formed by our body because the body itself have become weak, as well as immediate action has to be taken to recover that lost blood. So what has to be done? Blood donation. Okay, blood donation. Somebody donates the blood and somebody receives the blood. The patient takes the blood. The patient requires immediate blood. So blood transfusion has to be done. And for this blood transfusion, we should know our blood type. Suppose, know what, we everybody cannot give blood to anyone, but our blood can be donated, and by chance if that group person requires the blood, that blood can be provided to the patient. Okay, our group blood can be provided to the patient who is the same blood group. So we require to know our blood group. As we know what we are either a male or female, as we know our age, as we know our standard, as we know the name of our parents, our siblings, as we know the name of our family, that is the surname. So as we should know our blood type, so that immediately we can help somebody around us, or we can help somebody from our family. Okay, so we should know our blood type. So for knowing the blood type, we have to go to a physicist. Okay, physician, that is whoever checks the blood. They take the blood, one small drop of blood will be taken out from your body, and then they will be checked with which blood group you are. Okay, so that is very very necessary. So to know the blood group, we have four types of human beings, four types of blood groups, that is blood group O, blood group A, B and AB. So this depends on the antigens which are there on the blood group. Now here they have given the same antigens whom you can donate the blood, or who can become the receiver and the donor. Okay, so who all these from the blood group can give the blood to somebody else who requires. Okay, so O group, that is, you could see here green color, and no, whatever, this is a recessive means positive and negative. This RH group is also there. That RH group is present in some of them and RH group is absent in some of them. If RH group is present, that we call it as a recessive group is present, then we say that the blood group is positive. So if recessive group is there on O blood group, then we say that that person is O RH positive. If recessive group is absent, then we say that that person is O RH negative. Recessive groups are there for every blood group. Okay, A, on A you could see that green color, RH recessive. So this A positive and A negative. A negative means there are no recessive group. That is recessive, that is also some type of protein present in the blood cell. Okay, so this recessive group either present or absent, so that comes plus sign or minus sign, and we say A positive, A negative. A negative means ARH negative, that means the recessive group is negative, that is absent. ARH positive, that is recessive group, is present. Okay, same way for B also and for AB also. B positive, that means what is there? B RH group is present. B negative, that means the RH group is not present. So that way the blood is being, that way the human beings, or not the blood, that way the human beings are classified. So immediately if the patient requires blood, then where we have to run and go, we are supposed to go to a blood bank. You know, a blood bank, where when we donate the blood according to our wish, when we donate the blood according to our wish, what happens here? The blood is being stored. There are camps, you know, for blood donation. Blood donation camps are there, and these camps helps for donating, preserving this blood. Okay, then they check our blood whether we are O, whether we are A group, whether we are B group, or whether we are AB group, as well as they check whether we have positive recessive or we have negative recessive. So on that packet they write A RH positive, O negative, AB positive, like that. As well as the blood is also checked for diseases. If we are transferring some diseases or viruses from the blood, then that blood will not be given to the patient. Okay, so there are many diseases which can transfer from the blood also to different patients. So a disease condition patient is not allowed to donate the blood. Okay, so these are the packets from the blood banks. Your blood is stored. There is some anti blood coagulant solution, that is blood do not clot. Suppose if blood is removed out from the body and it is kept for longer time just like that, that blood will become clot means it will become like the curd. You know how the curd becomes solid in substance, water gets separate and solid gets separate, so it will get clot. So anticoagulant, so to stop that clotting, again a substance is, a preservative is added to this packet of blood, that we call it as anticoagulant medicine is added to that blood, so that its life remains, or life is increased. So who can give the blood to whom? Okay, one is donor and the other one is recipient. Suppose you are blood group O, so you can donate your blood or give your blood to all the groups. So O is called as the universal donor. Got that? So blood group O people can donate their blood to everybody. Got? But blood group A people cannot donate the blood to everybody. They require to donate to only A or AB. So the person who is blood group A can receive the blood from blood group A, or the person who is blood group AB will receive the blood from the donor A. Okay, same way for B and same way for AB. Now AB, what happens here? It is having both the recessive genes, that is both the recessive genes, that is A and B also. So it can receive the blood from all these groups, from A, from B, from AB, as well as from O. Okay, so AB blood group is said to be, they are universal receiver. That means they can receive the blood from any donor. Got that? So by chance any accident takes place of a person, so then he requires the blood from the particular donor only. Okay, so O donor, that is blood group O, the person who is with blood group O can donate his or her blood to any of the receiver, any of the recipient. And that, so need not to worry those who, and already the blood is being stored in the blood bank, so that whenever we require emergency, for emergency we can ask the blood bank to get the blood, okay, of that particular group. One more thing, you are allowed to donate the blood when you are 18 years old. Lower than 18 years old, you are not allowed to donate the blood. Okay, so only a particular quantity of blood can be donated. Okay, so we have 8 liters of blood in our body. From that, a small quantity of blood can be donated. So some days this blood can be stored with the help of anticoagulant. Okay, blood can coagulate, it can become like the curd. Okay, we are going to talk about some, again, one more important thing, that is the blood pressure. Okay, blood is flowing inside our vessels. Two types of vessels are there, arteries and veins, that you know. So pressure is there when anything is flowing. Suppose water is flowing to a tube, okay, and if there is a lot of pressure, so there is a pressure on the walls of that tubes. Same way, when blood is flowing through the arteries and veins, there is a pressure given by the blood on the walls of that arteries and walls on the veins. So we call that pressure, when blood is flowing, that pressure we call it as blood pressure. Blood pressure, that is on the vessels due to contraction and relaxation of the heart. When heart contracts and heart relaxes, that means it is sending the blood. When heart contracts, it is absorbing the blood. That means, you know, contraction, when you suck the juice from the pipe, know what you do, you suck it. That means what is happening there, expansion of, when you are sucking it, pressure is there on the pipe. Okay, and when you are putting it down, what happens here? So there is a contraction, sucking process and releasing process from the heart. So there is a pressure exerted on the walls of these arteries and the veins. So that pressure we call it as blood pressure. So there is a normal range of blood pressure. Okay, so the normal range of blood pressure is 120 is high maximum pressure, and 80, this is the minimum pressure. This pressure is been calculated by a device that we are going to study. One is called as the systolic pressure and the other one is called as the diastolic pressure. Okay, systolic pressure is in your artery and diastolic pressure is in your veins. So diastolic pressure is low and systolic pressure is high. So two types of pressure we have, systolic and diastolic. Systolic pressure is 120 normal, 120 to 139 we say it is normal pressure of the blood on the walls of that arteries. Diastolic pressure means its range is from 80 to 89. It is written there in your textbook also. Okay, there is a paragraph of blood pressure, you refer that. So high blood pressure will go above 120 or 139 and low blood pressure will go above, that is 80, less than 80 as well as less than 129. So this is measured with the help of a device. Okay, so here you could see what systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. What is systolic pressure? The pressure exerted when the blood is ejected into the arteries. So normal systolic pressure is 120 millimeter, Hg, that is mercury. Mercury is there in a thermometer also, mercury is there in this device also. Okay. What is diastolic pressure? The pressure exerted by the blood within the arteries between the heartbeats. Okay, so both the pressures are of arteries. So when the heartbeat is there, that time the pressure is there, that is 80, that is diastolic pressure. So normal diastolic pressure is 80 mm Hg. Hg is the mercury. Okay, pressure of the blood when in between the two heartbeats. Okay, and this pressure is when arteries take the blood. There is when the arteries are giving out the blood, that is heart has contracted and relaxed, and between the two heartbeats there is a pressure that is 80 mm Hg. So systolic pressure is pressure exerted when blood is ejected into the arteries. From your heart, blood is given into the arteries forcefully, it will be going to the arteries. And diastolic pressure means after that, whatever the blood has passed into the arteries, then the arteries gets relaxed. Okay, so that is the, it gets relaxed, that is the pressure of diastolic. So this instrument you must have seen, that is sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer, this instrument helps for detecting our blood pressure. Okay, so it helps, it works on this diagram which looks like the compass box. This has mercury level increases or decreases. This can show your the pressure here. A pressure gauge is there, gauge, which could show you the pressure. This is being put on your, no, that is the, your arms tightly. Doctor puts it and then pushes the air inside and see the pressure. Okay, relaxing pressure and the other arteries pressure, and arteries are very deep down, so they have to press it very hard. So high blood pressure is, there is a disease which we call it as high blood pressure. So blood pressure becomes high, there are no such symptoms to show that the blood pressure is high. Many days the symptoms are not seen, but still high blood pressure is seen. So this high blood pressure also we call it as hypertension. Tension on the arteries, not the tension of your brain. This is a tension on the arteries, and there are no such symptoms for many years. So even without any symptoms, the damage to the blood vessels or your heart, it can continue, can be detected. So uncontrolled high blood pressure, it increases the risk of serious health problems including heart attack and stroke. Stroke means the small mild heart attack is there. Sometimes the heart stops. Okay, so high blood pressure generally develops over many years and it affects nearly everyone. So fortunately, high blood pressure can be easily detected, and once you know you have high blood pressure, then you can work out with it and can control it with the help of the doctor. Sometimes the arteries get choked up, and because of this choke up arteries, we could get a high blood pressure. So high blood pressure is also known as hypertension. Okay, so HBP, it is called as a condition in which the force of blood against the artery wall is too high. So usually hypertension is defined as blood pressure, so that is above 140 to 90. If the range is above 140 to 90, then we say that we have a very high blood pressure, and if pressure goes above that range of 180 to 120, then there is a risk of heart attack. Okay, so this is the chart of, there is a chart in your textbook also, and this is a chart here. The normal pressure is, systolic is less than 120 and diastolic is less than 80. elevated, that also is the normal pressure only, that is 120 to 129 and less than 80. High blood pressure, that is hypertension, these are the stages here. So okay, so it is 130 to 139 or 80 to 89. So high blood pressure or hypertension, so that is 140 or higher or 90 or higher. So and more than that, then naturally to consult a doctor. It is very very important to consult a doctor if you are getting suffocation, if your nerves are moving very fast, if your heartbeat is fast, okay, and or either you are breathing very fast, it is very very important to consult a doctor for heart pressure. So this risk increases as the age grows. Okay. So we have studied till now all the types of the bloods as well as the blood tissues. Okay, types of different types of bloods. Can recall all these things. Read your lesson carefully. Okay, we have studied about the blood donation also, donor and recipient, whatever it is, that is systolic and diastolic pressure, heart pressure, or either your blood pressure. Okay, so all those things. Know about the blood group of the people who are living around you or either in your family. Make a chart of your family having the blood group as well as the blood pressure. Whoever is having high blood pressure in your family or low blood pressure in your family, ask them, continuously ask them how they are feeling. If they are visiting the doctor, you ask them how much is your blood pressure today, what is the range of your blood pressure, then find out whether it is normal or whether it is not normal, whether it is high or whether it is low. So this way you keep on studying about your lessons which we have studied, your human body and the organ system. Okay, take care.